You know, lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of demons. A lot of shit we do gon' have consequences, but we gotta be ready for them. Emergency, I just got out of surgery. I'm having problems with my heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me. I'ma stay right here for this plastic, God take breath from me. I'm sipping his hand and eat this pain, but it ain't helping me. My little nigga going against the grain and that shit stressing me. I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the gang. He paid the price. I was young in the rush for the money. My hunger for paper it saved my life. And that shit can save tonight. If you wanna lick shit, we can get rich quick. We can get paid tonight. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money. Everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gonna go out there? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by eye, you killed a nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, God, real talk. Hey, fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fighting mine. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons. Whoa, I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons, I'm on the ropes. They came with a beam up under my coat. Get hit in the spleen if you want to smoke. That money be green, so niggas don't go. I'm looking so clean, I used to be cold. Remember they laughed at me and they choke. Gave him the ball and nigga they choke. Tables turn, that nigga you roll. My little nigga don't follow no code. Follow no code. My nigga follow me like the pole. I stand on my word and stand by the consequence. They say I'm heartless, thanks for the compliment. I seen your dead homie, yell at company. BMG gang, and bitch feel incompetent. Don't wanna hear that shit, I gotta kill that shit. Leave the militant. I can get ignorant, we not considerate. Niggas do silly shit, we get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent, don't give a fuck about a bystander. I can pull up in the Highland. Don't take no slander. Don't take no slander. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gon' go down? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by eye, you killed a nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, God, real talk. Hey, fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fighting mine. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons.
What's going on with y'all? Love is love. Lady Latisa, what's up with you? Appreciate you for stopping through as always. Y'all make sure y'all stop by Lady Latisa. Give her a follow. Subscribe over on TikTok. Y'all get over to YouTube. Follow some of the people that I follow over on YouTube. Lovely spaces, lovely people. Make sure y'all keep in touch with the Atlas family because y'all know we always doing positive things. Always pointing out. We point out right and wrong. We don't care who did it. If we did it, you gonna try to correct it, but we over here pointing out right and wrong. And before we get started with today's lessons, I just want to say, Mike, you're dead wrong, Mike. You're dead wrong, right? You could tell all the people that you want that that's not your mama's house. I know a mama's house when I see a mama's house. Some of that stuff look like it's been accumulating in that house for years now. You ain't never lived outside your mama's house. I know you want to tell everybody that's your house. That is your mama's house, Mike. Okay? And to be married 4 times, looking at ain't you engaged right now again to be married? That sounds odd. Like you 50-something years old, you didn't make the first 4 marriages work. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's odd to me right there. That's odd to me. So don't sit around talking about some all your accolades and the bands you done played with, and you done played with the small bands, and now you gotta play with the big band. You 58, my boy. You 60 years old, you going to get wives from the Philippines. It's the reason why you got to go to third world countries to get somebody to listen to your ass. Because the women here in America don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen to you sit there and boast about how you was the lead band in the choir. That's all you really did. You went to church on Sunday and beat drums, Mike. Be honest with yourself, Mike. You got that knot on your head. You want to sit there and talk about something. Yeah, they even want to go find my Facebook. We want inquiring minds wanted to know, Mike. We had to look into you a little bit. You going over to the Philippines, married 4 times, but we can't find none of the previous wives, right? You got these people over in the Philippines that you gave jobs to based off of you scamming on the internet. So now you paying people over in the Philippines to sit there and edit and put comments on page on things for you, so you can make it look like they part of a company. The music, you ain't produced not one piece of music out of there. Ain't nobody coming into your basement making music. You ain't never hear Soldier Boy or nobody say, yeah, this was produced in Mike Cross' basement or none of that stuff. So don't sit there and try to make it seem like you living such a great life living at home with your mom. All right. Furthermore, you need to go get that cough checked on. Because every time you cough, you look like you're going through body aches or some shit, man. Go get that cough checked out. All right. That's first and foremost. Secondly, you still owe Golden apology. I'm gonna be on your ass until you apologize to that lady. I'm gonna be on you until you apologize to that lady. You owe her an apology. You sat there and gawked after her. Everybody knows what type of mind you had when you did it. It was nasty. It was disturbing. You should apologize to her. Okay? You should apologize. And that's why I'm on your top. You nasty. You sat there, you made nasty statements. And to sit here and keep on trying to make it seem like you got some good life going on, talking about some, oh yeah, my wife and Mina, they want to get back and start making music and stuff like that. And we one big happy family. Listen, you can't tell two lies. Okay. You can't tell two lies. You can't say your wife and your stepdaughter snuck away in the middle of the night and now you have another fiance that you're engaged to, right? So you can't be engaged right now and still keep on talking about you and your wife is living happily ever after. Those two things don't go together, Mike. Okay? Those two things don't go together. Just thought you should know. That way you could pick one, pick a lie. Whatever lie you're going to go with, pick that lie and stick to it, Mike. All right. But until you apologize to Golden, we on your top. We on your top. Anytime we want to bring it up, we just gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring you up until we see an apology. We're gonna keep bringing your ass up from time to time. You a pervert. You're nasty, right? You nasty. The way you was looking at her was nasty. The way you kept on making the noises was nasty. The way you, hey, Golden Queen H, hey, let me stop. You knew what you was doing. You had negative thoughts or nasty thoughts. I don't even know if they was negative. I can't say if they was negative. I don't know the things that you plan on doing with that thick ass tongue that's in your mouth. So I can't say whether it was negative. I know you moved that tongue around enough to scare the hell out of me. And I'm a 6'5" black guy. And that motherfucker tongue was just moving from side to side in your mouth as you stared at her like, hey, you a snake. You're nasty. You're nasty. Anytime we want to talk about you, we gonna talk about you. We gonna blast your ass. All right. That's just what it is. If you don't like it, oh well. Pull up on me. Pull up on me, Mike. You ain't gonna yell at me like you did Golden. You ain't gonna sit there and get all nasty mouth with me. I know you sit there in the basement and eat boiled peanuts all day. So you ain't gonna do that Tony the Tiger tough shit with me. I promise you that. I know you eat boiled peanuts all day. I'm always leery. I'm always leery of these men that sit there and do the things that women do. Like you see Wolf Coochie sitting there eating sunflower seeds, putting his hands all in his mouth with the sunflower seeds. That's because he sat around women his whole teenagehood. That's who you could tell was hanging out with the women. They was getting the barbecue sunflower seeds, the ranch sunflower seeds. They was the hood. They was the ones in the hood running around with the sunflower seeds. It was all the women. I seen all them fast, smart mouth girls when I was growing up eating sunflower seeds. That's all they used to do is eat sunflower seeds. Some of them didn't even eat the sunflower seeds. They just sucked the salt off the motherfucker and spit the rest of it out. I'm telling you, y'all know which ones I'm talking about. The ones that just like the flavor of the seed. They just put a bunch of them in their mouth and suck the salt off of them motherfuckers, and the seeds just get spit out somewhere. Y'all know which ones I'm talking about. Then you had them sunflower seeds eater. They ate the whole thing, shell, seed, everything, just chewed on the whole thing. Okay, but enough about sunflower seeds. These are the people you got to watch out for in the neighborhood. You hear me? The mics. You think he got that knot on his head by being righteous? This dude got an anatomy growing out of his head. Y'all see that lump? That shit got a mind of his own. Some mornings he wake up and the thing is just flared up. You know what I'm saying? Some mornings he wake up and it's looking mediocre. Sometimes it's looking like a boulder on his face. Y'all know something ain't right with that knot. You can't trust somebody who got something like that growing on their face. He didn't even go get that checked out. But he making trips to the Philippines to get more wives. Come on, you on wife number 5, Mike. You done been married 4 times. You didn't get that shit right in 4 times. What makes you think you about to get it right now? You not about to get it. Cut it out. Some people just meant to be alone. You might be one of them niggas. You might just be meant to be alone. Don't go mess up somebody else's life. You the one that can't get right. Keep talking about all them church trips. And one time we want to go play at the band, and we was in the band and we was marching out there, and they had their own band too. It was like 2 bands out there at the same time. Shut up. I want to hear your damn band trips. And one time at band camp, and this one time at band camp, he telling y'all a American Pie dream stories. That what he telling y'all, making it seem like all of this don't revolve around Sunday school. This is all Sunday school stuff, Mike. That's the only band you ever played in. The stuff you do for the church. Why are you trying to make your life seem different on this internet? The stuff you did for the church. That's all that you ever did, Mike. You are the drummer for the church, Mike. Start making these people seem like. Then you want to try to lie to these people. Talking about that's not your mama's house. That's your house. No, that's your mama's house. You always lived in your mama's house. Trying to make it seem like that's not your mama's house. And next time you in your mama's house, why don't you show people your bedroom, Mike? Show them that twin mattress that you still sleeping on, Mike. Show them that. That's probably why your wives keep leaving. You bringing them from a third world country to America where they think they're going to be living better, and they end up living like they over there in the third world country in your house. How you got a third world country type of living going on in your house here in America? You got to do better, Mike. Trying to make them people just do what you want them to do. You can't even take them to stardom. You got that 52-year-old woman over there. She's singing her heart out, trying to do renditions for you. And you think you going to put her on what? Dancing with the Stars? Get your ass out of here, Mike. We're gonna get you the help you need. All right, real quick. We're gonna give a little lesson on the understanding of the acoustic records. All right. Your acoustic records is basically where all of your previous lives recordings are at, right? So usually when you're talking about acoustic records, you're talking about roughly, let's say there's a memory bank right above your head, and if you should happen to practice kundalini rising or kundalini ascension, then you might be able to tap into your acoustic records or get glimpses of lives that you might have previously had. And sometimes this could help you because you might gain new abilities. At one point, you might not been able to paint, but if you was in touch with your acoustic records, you might have the ability of a painter, so on and so forth. So the acoustic records actually helps you horn in to other abilities that you might have, so on and so forth. So let's take a listen to what acoustic records are, and then we're gonna finish dragging Mike, filthy, no good, down, dirty, self-centered, nasty, perverted. I want to touch girls, PPs, and poo poos with the nay nays and the new news. Mike nasty ass.
This is a quick
Mike
reference
Larry.
term used to define the universal matrix of cellular memory that is contained within it, the recorded event of every possible experience and permutation of consciousness existing in our 15-dimensional universal time matrix. Many times other healers refer to this term as a part of clearing the soul record memory in the Akasha field of memory. The Akashic record or Akasha is a reference to the name of our universal God seed code system that carries all the frequency and coding that created our universe. The Guardians refers to this universal system as the Akasha or Eka universal system. Akasha is a more common terminology that many of us have heard before that refers to the same meaning. When we are doing emotional clearing work, many times we will state with the power of our declaration in self-sovereignty that we clear and dissolve its trauma effect upon our spiritual body's karmic record. Hence clear this pattern from my Akashic record. You are stating you command its clearance from the record of ever existing in your holographic energy field across all time and space. On a planetary and solar level, the halls of records are tubes leading to spherical probability fields that one can walk through, if your body can pass through stargates, and watch existence everywhere in every time frame. They are like surround sound and vision theaters.
Okay, now, basically, when it's talking about the acoustic records, kundalini energy, so on and so forth, you got to take your traumas into this too. So when people talk about acoustic records, people don't realize what it means to actually reach, clean up these timelines or anything like that, because they're thinking it's not applying to everyday trials and tribulations. Your acoustic records don't apply to the ass whooping that you got when you was in the 5th grade. Well, it does. All of the traumas that you keep on repeating, all of these things that you keep on repeating is something that's tied to your acoustic records. Think about it like this. A lot of people might not know the phobia of being under the bed, or why they find themselves, having this shortness of breath when they're under the bed, right? It could be maybe in a previous life you was taken out through a suffocation process or some type of process like that. Same thing with fire. A lot of people have a fear of fire. Maybe in a previous life, fire was your doom, right? These are etched into the acoustic records. These are traumas and karmatic karmas that are actually etched into your acoustic records, right? The best way, Darcy, I'm gonna tell you this: the best way to clean up the best way to clean up this stuff is timeline cleaning. And when I mean timeline cleaning, is even though you can't go back and change uh the physical actions of this, right? You can change how you view that particular point in your timeline, right? Now, I say that, and I'll give you an example. I was in 8 different group homes, right? But instead of looking at the negative of being in these 8 different group homes, I kind of look at the positive, the ability, because we used to have group meetings every day. So my willfulness to talk came out of that, so on and so forth. I wasn't looking at the fact that nobody wanted me, the fact that I had to sit there and miss out on holidays or be the only one in the facility during holidays, or how my family didn't come get me, how I didn't get no mail and didn't get no phone calls and so on and so forth. I didn't dwell on that stuff. I looked at all the positive stuff out of it, right? Same thing with ass whoopings. When I got, butt whoopings when I was a kid, it really tore me up. It tore me up for a long time. I had, I looked at it with a little bit of resentment and stuff like that, right? But now that I'm older, I look back at them different trials and tribulations, and I see what could I take out of that? What lesson could I have taken out of that makes me a better person? And it's not to put guilt or shame on myself. A lot of people go back and they look at where did they fault in this. A lot of trauma victims go back and say, what was my fault in all of that? I shouldn't have been wearing these seductive clothes. I shouldn't have went out the house like that. I shouldn't have did that. They're still looking for different ways to beat themselves up. They're not looking at it like, I went through this to give someone else the strength so they won't have to go through it. I went through this so that way I can talk about it so the next person won't have to go through it. So on, nobody's really looking at the world like that and saying, everything that I went through, I had to go through to make me the person that I am today in order to better the children of tomorrow. Nobody's really viewing it like that. So when you're cleaning up these different timelines, these are the different ways that you can clean up these timelines. That's how I go about cleaning up my timelines. I don't know. Some of y'all might be able to put it in music. Some of y'all might, I don't know what's going to help you clean up your heart chakra, get over your revenge. Like there's a lot of stuff that happened to us. You know what I mean? Uh there's a lot of stuff that happened to us when we was kids, and we can't go back to that time when we was kids, and we might not never understood why some ass whoopings was more than others. I know a lot of our parents took things out on us when they were mad at each other that we don't understand. I watched it. I watched it in my household. I watched it, I watched my baby mom do it with my kids. It was like in her mind she was competing to be the better parent. I stepped away from that situation just because I didn't want to be in competition with her, with who's the better parent. It was weird, but that was something she normalized, right? So it's like it's just finding your balance and being okay with you. Coming to the realization that there really is no such thing as right or wrong. It's just what you can stand with inside yourself, your moral compass, right? Because someone can justify their actions and be completely okay with doing something that we would deem as wrong, but because they justified it in their head, they don't see it as wrong. Look at half of the, Marilyn Mansons and stuff like that. The stuff that they were doing, they justified it differently in their head, so
There are
they
many
didn't view it
references
as
to the
wrong.
Akashic Record, Hall of Records, or the Eternal Book of Life from the many sacred texts of the ancients. The Akashic Records emanate from the primordial substance of the eternal God source, of which is projected as the DNA. Record and its instruction set, morphogenetic field, of all creation over time. They are comprised of the memory record of the entire consciousness journey over time, so every idea/thought, word, and action is registered in the Akashic Record, which can be accessed and interpreted over any point in the spiral of time. Each universe, galaxy, planet, being, has its own Akashic Record memory, and there are many collective memory records of all spiritual families on their journey throughout time. The way we receive the intelligent information from the Akashic Record is through.
Now, see, when you think about what they just said, right? That everything has its own records. Every planet has its record. Every galaxy has a record, right? Now you have to look at a multitude of timelines, and how much did you exist in these timelines? These are where these downloads are coming in, these solar flares, the things that are manipulating your thoughts, changing your sleep, so on and so forth. So now you have all of this out there in space. You have all of these frequencies of timelines out there in space. Some of them wave by us, some of them put us in different thought patterns, some of them, you know, think about it. You don't always think the same way at the same time. I want to show y'all the wave, and I'm gonna use you as an example to show you the wave. Right now, you can agree with me with ones in the chat, or if it went over your head, just wait. I'm about to come around to you. Okay, watch this. Every springtime, when you smell that autumn coming in, it takes you back to a time of when you were younger, when you first smelled that smell. Right or wrong? Ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. You smell that autumn coming in. You can smell when the rain is coming. It takes you back to the first time that you smelled it. How about this? Why is it that every October you have a taste for pumpkin? And why is it that every Christmas you have a taste for ginger or cinnamon? Come on. Come on. Come on. These are waves. You don't have a taste for pumpkin in the springtime, do you? Do you? Ain't no cravings for pumpkins in the springtime, is it? Is it? You don't want that pumpkin pie then, do you? That sweet potato pie, I think it tastes different in November, don't it? That sweet potato pie, you ain't never seen a mother sucker pull out sweet potato pie in the springtime. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. In the history of niggerdom, you ain't never really seen pumpkin pie in the springtime. That's a wintertime meal. You pull that shit out roughly between October and November, and you might not, you ain't even gonna pull it out. You get what I'm saying? Think about it. I want y'all to really think about the life. They used to do it to us with kids, with programming. That's why why do you think Die Hard was a Christmas movie? Die Hard was not no Christmas movie. Die Hard was not no Christmas movie, but they labeled it a Christmas movie because it came out on Christmas, right? So it became a Christmas movie. It was right there in the circle with You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Miracle on 51st Street, right? These are some of the things that repeatedly took place on TV. On TV, you've seen a wave of shows that played during the springtime, going into spring, right? You got the action movies, so on and so forth, and then you see that scary wave come in. Let me ask you this: why is it the fog in the summertime don't look the same as the fog in the fall, right? If you see fog in the summertime, you might run through that fog. You might frolic through that fog, right? You see that same fog in October with the leaves blowing and shit. You'll think Michael Myers in that fog. Yeah, I ain't going in there. Shit, I ain't about to walk in that fog. Shit. That's how you know it's waves to this. It's waves. This is a wave. Why is you more scared in October than you are in April? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. How Halloween get here and everybody think everything is eerie. Everything just become eerie in October. Why that shit ain't eerie in April? Huh? Huh? Why we don't get that same eerie feeling in April? Huh? Huh? Exactly. It's a wave. It's a conscious wave. It ain't got shit to do with us. It ain't got nothing to do with us. We is just down here, willing participants in this thing called life. I'm trying to tell y'all, the world is one big stage. We is just down here. These energy waves happen, and we gotta duck and pick and choose what wave we want to be on, what frequency we want to be on, what is our operation. That's all we're really choosing. We're choosing our form of operation. What energy are we accumulating? Are you accumulating positive energy? Are you accumulating loving energy? Because that's going to determine your operation. That's all we really got. Now, you can watch the ones. This is why I say you got to be able to read energy. Energy don't lie. You can watch the people who are building up low vibrational negative energy. It always sips out of them. You can tell in their conversation how they approach a situation, right? When people are looking to be at peace with you, they're looking to find that common ground, right? When people are looking to be in an indifference with you, they're looking for something. They don't care what it is. They can be like, "Oh, what's your zodiac sign?" You can be like, "Oh, I'm a Scorpion." They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I don't get along with Scorpions." You can say, "Oh, where are you from? What state you from?" You could be like, "Oh, I'm from North Dakota." They'll be like, "Yeah, I don't really like them North Dakotians. They usually just get like you can tell like what type of person you're dealing with. All you got to do is just sit there and watch, and they're gonna show themselves. No, I'm serious. You know I'm right. That's why you laughing. That's why you laughing because you know I'm right. You know I'm right. People be making stuff out of anything. All right, watch this. Watch this. Now, y'all, one's in the chat. One's in the chat. Y'all about to agree with me on this. Watch. One's in the chat. When somebody see you doing good, they'll tell you, "Hey, if you ever need anything, let me know. I got you." Right? That same person that tells you that will see you down and out, and they'll also tell you, "I don't feel comfortable letting you borrow money when you ain't got no job." What the when I got a job is if you need anything, let me know. When I don't got a job, you don't feel watch this. Watch this. I got some more for you. I got some more for you. You'll ask somebody to borrow $10 and they'll say, "What you gonna use it for?" You tell them the truth that you gonna buy some smokes or something with it, and then they say, "I ain't giving you my money to buy that." Well, first of all, once you give me the money, it's my money, and then I'm obligated to do whatever I want with it. But since you looking for a reason to say no, of course you gonna say that. Because that's what people do. They looking for a reason to say no. That's why when you ask somebody something and they looking for a reason to say no, just let them have their reason to say no. You get what I'm saying? Just let them have their reason. Don't sit there and try to listen. You'll ask somebody for a ride and they'll start asking all types of questions about it. Well, what time, what day you need that ride? Oh, what time? What time? Oh, yeah. That's the same time that I gotta do. You was gonna say that anyway. It didn't matter what time I said. I could have said the 13th hour or the 1300 minute or the 1300 block pick me up. You when people find that when they want their way out, they gonna find their way out when they want their way out. That's why when you find somebody that's looking for that reason to say no, don't sit there and fight because you disappointing yourself. When you force somebody, and you also have to be cautious of people that volunteer lies. Some people will volunteer a lie. And the reason why they're doing that is so nobody else will take the offer. You know what I mean? It's like being in the room and you say, "Hey man, can somebody give me a ride tomorrow? It's really important." Your hater will jump out there. "I got you. I'll do it. I'll do it. Hey, don't worry about it, Bobby. Hey, John, put your hand down. I got it. Don't worry about it." And then when tomorrow comes, guess what? Something came up. So you even got to be cautious when it's that, right? And be careful for the people that keep you waiting. They'll keep you waiting. You'll try to tell them on Friday that you need something done on Sunday. They'll tell you that they can't let you know the answer until Sunday. You get what I'm saying? This is why I say you got to learn people. Y'all down here learning the wrong shit. You learning how to work that material, that equipment at work. You sitting there trying to learn some machine. People is the ones that's fucking you over. That machine is not fucking you over. That machine comes with a program, and thus far, how you program it is according to how that machine is going to operate. It is the people that you got to learn down here. The people is doing you wrong. You know? That's why I read that. I see I see, and people come into your space and try to cause conflict with you and make it seem like they didn't cause conflict with you. People come into your space and they try to cause a problem with you, and then they try to make it seem like they not the ones that caused the problem with you, right? Because they already know what they want their actions to be. They just need a justification behind the actions that they want to take towards you, right? These people are not transgressing towards you for no reason. They just looking for a justification to transgress. This is why I avoid a lot of people in conversations, going into Walmart, anything like that. This is why I curve a lot of conversations. A lot of people are out there looking for someone to be mad about, looking for somebody to curse out, looking for somebody to mouth off to. They want to transgress something. Something's not right in their life, whether it be at home, whether somewhere something ain't right, and they need to get off a little bit of, so they looking for people out in the world. You see it more than ever now, that people are out there just doing shit for no reason. Now we sitting there trying to figure out the reason behind some shit like that, right? But really, what if there's no reason behind it? What if there's just this buildup inside of all of us that's making us tired of life? And some people get to that point a lot sooner than others, and thus far creates a crash out, right? I know they say life is worth living, but when you constantly going through this struggle, listen, we tired of watching these commercials where people were frolicking and shit like that and making it look like everything is just so happy. I'm tired. I'm tired of the herpes couple on the beach and shit talking about we have herpes and we get along just fine. Well, I ain't got a motherfucking thing and I can't find happiness. You know what I'm saying? Shit. These motherfuckers is out here just making it seem like everything is just peaches and cream. You hear me? And we struggling through life, you know what I mean? Fighting for this, fighting
Through
for that.
transmissions via encoded light language, which is sacred geometry of words, symbols, glyphs, as the language encoded in fire letters. There are stages of access in the Akashic records, and very few beings at this time on Earth have the purity to access beyond the soul planes of the second density. One must be purified to exist within the higher ethical standards of spiritual morality, and it is impossible for the accurate representation of the Akasha to transmit through a being with purely selfish motivation of negative ego desires or service to self-orientation. This manifests as a partial access or corrupted view to the historical record or soul record under the guise of the ego's slant or judgment of circumstances.
Now, this is where that self-serving complex come from. When you hear these different people, because you're going to hear it now, more than anything, you're going to hear these people with this Christ-like concept. They're going to think that they are the Christ. They're going to think that everyone else is the Judas. There's people right now that's coming into this um Christ-like concept of this new air. And it's, you know what I mean, when you see it, they're going to have like a heavy service to self, right? It's going to be a false operation. It's going to be, a negative operation. And Christ himself said, many will come in my name. He never even said he was going to come in his name. He never told you what name he was going to come in. He said you'll just know him by his works, by his deeds, by his merits. I don't know what book you might be reading, but you'll probably see one of those words in there, right? Now, the reason why is because look how many people is coming in a false Christ right now. You got Jaguar Wright, Big Homie CC, Ronnie Bo. That's not even including all the people that's over on TikTok doing this, right? There's massive amount of groups right now where people are casting a lot with false false chosen ones, if you would say, right? The image that they giving y'all for the chosen one is not an intellectual image. Look at the ones who are calling themselves the chosen ones, right? They're sitting there with their titties propped out, showing their bosoms, probably the top of their ass, sitting there trying to get you to lust after them or something like that. Look at the ones that's calling themselves Christ. They're sitting there, they're probably drinking alcohol, different things like that. You got to pay attention. You got to have spiritual discernment. There's a lot of false lights out there right now. There's a lot of false lights out there right now. They always hitting you with stuff like, God don't play about me. Well, shit, God don't play about me neither. So what is we that's the problem with these people. It's like they make you think like you're outside the box of creation and they're inside the box when really it's the other way around. They're outside of creation and we're with creation, right? Because I'm not separated from creation, therefore I have a conscious. That conscious connects me with source, connects me with the creator. So I don't deny myself being outside of creation, right? The problem with these entities is they deny their self of being a part of the creator. You can't sit there and say that you're not part of the creator and then still say that you serve a mighty God. Well, if you serve a mighty God, you should know that you're a part of that because he's not outside of nothing that he created. And since he created everything, I guess God would be in everything. So the first thing you would have to recognize is the God particle of yourself before you can even recognize the God particle of somebody else. And how you going to see God in the world if you ain't never find the God in yourself? Never mind. But listen to what I'm saying. There's a lot of different, things that we have to understand about this world right now. And we're slowly coming into a grander understanding of that. So we got to be patient because the battle wasn't never ours. It was the universe. And even though we seen the signs in the sky with, the whale being swallowed up, even though the Lucifer comet entered back into the sky as of 420 of last year, and this 420 marks a monumental year, whether they want to tell you about it or not. Why do you think Easter fall on this 420? Easter don't fall on 420 for like every 22 years, every 23 years. The last time Easter fell on 420 was 2003. And the reason why I know that because 420 is my birthday, so yeah. Me and Hitler share the same birthday. Yes, me and Hitler.
With pure heart-based motivation in sacred and reverent prayer towards life,
Don't
one
tell
may
nobody.
request to
Don't tell
access
nobody.
one's own Akashic record to view other lifetime identities, histories, patterns, and related issues that may have imprinted in the current lifetime. This may be very helpful in clearing and releasing painful patterns in the soul memory and emotional body. Rudolf Steiner spoke about what he considered to be his direct experience of the Akashic records, sometimes called the Akasha Chronicle, thought to be a spiritual chronicle of the history, prehistory, and future of the world and mankind. In a number of works, Steiner described a path of inner development he felt would let anyone attain comparable spiritual experiences. Sound vision could be developed, in part, by practicing rigorous forms of ethical and cognitive self-discipline, concentration, and meditation. In particular, a person's moral development must precede the development of spiritual faculties. 1, 2. Akashic and Akashic records.
So
as we process the liberation of the universe,
we don't really know about the Akashic records. We don't really know about this stuff because they're not really teaching us about this stuff. They're not teaching us about inner earth. Inner earth is inside the body. You wouldn't think that these parasites and stuff lived inside of you. You wouldn't even understand how we came about being, right? We went from Homo erectus, Homo sapien, Homo sapioid, Neanderthal. Like we really had to go through some stages of, changes. You know what I mean? We had to go through some stages of changes in order to get to these, beasts that you see, this meat suit that you see. So all of this stuff comes with different strands of DNA. All of this stuff comes with like a change of a chromosome here, or realignment of this, like all of this stuff comes with that. We don't know the depths of it because we started doing a false reincarnation process, right? This is why, according to the history of man, at one point there wasn't a moon in the sky, and then all of a sudden there was a moon in the sky, right? This is why they tell you that, according to what they understand, NASA, which originally started off as an underwater explorer program, changed you and said that the moon seemed hollow at one point. When something fell back and hit the moon, it made a sound as if it was hollow. This is why they tell you in movies like Transformers about the dark side of the moon. They don't want to tell you about the moon bases and what might be landing on that side of the moon to observe us. Or think of the sun and the moon as frequency centers, right? Where someone can program the frequency of the moon and then send the energy down here to have the people in such a frequency. Come on, bro, you're making a lot of noise. And then you have the same thing with the sun, but the sun is playing tennis with, it's a it's an energy on the other side. Let's say it's an energy on the other side of of our planet. Think about it. Our planet is 73% water, right? And we pretty much see all of it. And if we only explored 5 to 10% of our oceans and seas, then it's fair to say that there's more than 65% of this planet that we know nothing about, right? So if we don't know nothing about half the planet, right, then there could be something on the other half of this planet, because there's no possible way we explored the planet that we're on if we're 75-76% water and only explored 5% of our oceans and seas, 10% if you count sonars, right? So that means there's a whole 60 something percent that we can say we know nothing about, whether that be inward or outward, wherever the hell this 60% is at. We know nothing about it, right? We know nothing about it. Whatever that 60% is, we know nothing about. You know what I mean? Golden Queen, what's going on? You have a great one. I don't know when you got a live schedule, but make sure you send it to us or something. I don't know, join the Discord or something. That way we can try to get your schedule or whenever you go live or whatever. I see you in the comment section. But you have a great one. Appreciate you for popping in. Love is love. Namaste, I say. Salutations, salam. Keep your energy and your peace, because these people will snatch it up. They is out here swallowed up, these low vibrational entities, and they running wild. The book of Revelations warned us about this. You just didn't know how you would see it, right? When it said the beast that once was will return, these are the beasts that's inside of us that's returning. These people that you see, these are the beasts that we are created. We supposed to have discipline over these beasts, over these entities, these demonic energies of the flesh. We supposed to have, they'll swallow you up. You hear me? We supposed to have discipline over them. The mind was what we were supposed to have control of, and the mind was supposed to have control of the body of man. And y'all are not controlling what comes with the flesh. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Y'all just dabbling in the fearful part, you know? Yeah, it took some work to get to the creatures that we walk and talk to as today. We are the aliens. They told you that the aliens was in the ocean. Well, if the aliens is in the ocean, that mean that they was here before us. Don't that make us the aliens? Y'all better wake up. Look at some of y'all scratching y'all head like, damn, we is the alien. Some of y'all like, wait a minute. We is the aliens if they was here first. Exactly. You better learn how to get along. You hear me? You better learn how to get along. Shit.
Inner Earth timelines allow an access into the transharmonic fields. This is the ability to easily slide back and forth into the parallel realities. The aperture into the inner Earth timelines has been opening up gradually on the Earth's surface since 2000, and many people have had direct contact from the inner Earth residents that are a mixture of the more advanced human and reptilian civilizations. Recently, some of these civilizations have been chastised for giving deceptive information in the New Age channelings to Earth humans on the surface. These groups were essentially afraid that surface inhabitants would invade the inner Earth civilization and destroy their more advanced culture, so they spread a lot of disinformation. Inner Earth residents consider Earth's surface inhabitants to be hybrids that are mixed with the refugee races and criminals' minds, making surface inhabitants much more hostile and violent. They do not have war or kill each other, so this apprehension towards surface Earth inhabitants is understandable. Most do not completely understand the reality of the NAA. Invasion and mind control on the surface. Even though the inner Earth residents are much more advanced and have access to technology that surface inhabitants don't have, they are also undergoing revelations of deeper truth and spiritual ascension to embody into their next higher potentials. Surface Earth soul groups may also return to the inner Earth timelines during Bardo, if that is the soul family they are most intimately connected to continue the next stage of their journey to skip forward in time. It is possible that in the future, Bardo will not be necessary for a surface dweller to return back into the inner Earth, as the transharmonic field access makes time travel easier. These are future humans and they look very much like we do on the surface, with the exception of living much longer, and appearing younger, taller, and more symmetrical.
Now, you
1.
guys might not, let's just say allegedly, supposedly, right? But in the understanding of this, Bardo is what people can go through right now. We would have to travel with inside of ourself, our inner earth. Everybody's inner earth is not the same because of the simple fact that I'm not putting the same things in my body that you putting in your body. Is just not happening, right? So my inner earth wouldn't be as filtrated as someone else's inner earth, so to speak. But they tell you travel with inside yourself. And when you realize that earth is not a place, like earth is this plane that we living on is not earth, right? Earth is inside of you. We are earth, right? So when it's telling you stuff referring to earth or go back into earth, then it's talking about the flesh from which we came. We are that earth, right? So a lot of times when it's telling you about earth, you don't realize that it's talking about inside of you. So you have to make these connections of how connected you are with the universe. When it's talking about the galaxy, galactic, cosmos, this is in your brain. These are dimensions of your brain that's stretched out in the galaxy, stretched out in the cosmos. Just think about our conscious being spread out through this galaxy, through this Milky Way. That's a map of someone's brain. That's beautiful. The sky, that is a map of somebody's brain. This is etched in our brain, you know? Them kingdoms of heaven that's up there, that's in our brain, you know? A lot of people don't realize that. That's how amazing that is. Like that's someone's conscious spread out through the universe. That's our conscious spread out through the galaxy. All of these constellations, we have memories there in those constellations. These are these energies wave through. When these planets line up, these planets are sending energy down here that is thus far when it gets to our brain, then our brain calculate it up and it puts us in a different operation. Think about it. 10 years ago, some of y'all didn't even have the willpower that y'all have right now to start some of the diets that y'all have. Some of y'all didn't even have the guts to go back to school, apply for that job, but within the last 4 to 5 years, everybody gained a different level of willpower, whether it be to be a rebellious, or narcissistic sociopath, whatever it is, everybody gained extra willpower, right? But some people are afflicted by addictions. So what gained more control over them is their addiction. So some people became super or hyper addicted, right? People are smoking more pack of cigarettes now. When people used to smoke one pack, now they on two. They like, I don't know what's happening. People that drank and they started drinking more now. Their tolerance for stuff went up. It changed. Everything changed. People keep acting like they don't recognize or see the change, but it changed. It changed. If you're not in control of some of the, some of this stuff, watch, look at the people around you that's getting sick too. Pay attention to the people around you that's getting sick. If you watch, it's those people that's not smiling as much. Come on. It's those unhappy people. They getting sick. They walking around coughing. They walking around getting sick. You hear them on the app. Listen to Jaguar Wright. Listen to Grace. Listen to all these people. Do they sound bubbly? Huh? Do they sound lively? Huh? Hell no. People sound like they what? You hear them. You can hear that shit. All them people that's low vibration, I don't care. I'm not going to say their names, but you know who I'm talking about. You know all the ones that I'm talking about. They always sick. Am I lying? One's in the chat. You know I'm telling the truth. Put a 1 in the chat. You know I'm telling the truth. They is sick. They come on, they sick. They good for 4 days. They back being sick. They good for a week. They sick again. They coughing, hawking up loogies. They sick. Listen to me. It is them. It is them. The spirit inside of them is fighting, and the body is interpreting what the spirit is going through. That's what's happening right now. Your spirit is in your mind, and your spirit is certain stuff not sitting right with your spirit. Your spirit got to let your body know what's going on, and that might come through the form of the flu, a sickness, whatever the case may be. Your spirit is talking to you right now. Get right with yourself. Your spirit is talking to you right now. You ever been in high spirits? Nothing can touch you when you was in high spirits. When you was in high spirit, whenever you was in a loving atmosphere, you had to sit back and think about the last time you got sick. When you was in loving atmosphere, you be sitting there like, damn, I ain't been sick in a while. Because you're in good thought. You're in a loving energy. It's different. It's the same thing happens with rainy days. When your ass is in a loving, bubbly feeling, it's almost like you don't see the rain. It's hitting everybody else, but it's like you standing in sunshine. You in a bubble. But as soon as that moment of sadness come, it seemed like it rained. You sitting there like, did I just do that? Did I just bring the rain? Because I was sad and it started raining. When I'm happy, the sun is out. That wasn't just when you was a kid. That shit happening now. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Because you can't tell me. You can't tell me I'm lying because you know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. Okay? You know I'm not lying. Now, if we was to get into this, we would have to get into different variations of energies
As several long-term Emerald Guardian Universal Grid projects finally come into completion, 2022, many of these rehabilitation missions were actually designed to rescue the Melchizedek logos from his imprisonment in the wall and time splits, which had been formed into the extensive nets running the Phantom Nibur Tiamat fallen matrices. As the checkerboard matrix phantom nets of Nibru Tiamat collapsed in Stonehenge, the opening into the 12D portal of pre-invaded Nibru was made accessible, and from out of this planetary gateway a massive blue crystalline liquid plasma oceanic wave formed into a cosmic Christos azure blue Sunday. From within this cosmic blue sun the Melchizedek logos appeared to form into a massive Maharaji.
We might not know what this is talking about, but as of like last year, or a little bit before last year, it might have been 2003, they said that and allegedly, supposedly, whatever, for entertainment purposes only, they said that the Earth was moving from a green plasma color to a blue-green plasma color, right? Now, this is telling you that we're moving from one chakra system to another chakra system. We're moving fast in the universe, right? Time does not exist. You think time exists. Time doesn't really exist. You know what I mean? Hey, MJE, you absolutely right. Just look at all of that. Look at how that's unfolding right now. That whole Jaguar situation with the Magi thing, and then all of the troll farm, like aligned themselves with Magi. They all popping up over on Magi's. Now Wolf Coochie done, slid out the side door. I seen him on his live doing a live. Like ain't nothing never happened. He ain't even answering no questions about the Jaguar situation. Jaguar done went live for 10 hours. How do she goes live scared, freaking out of her mind. She go live for 10 hours, and then you, the fiance, you just go live like nothing happened, like everything peaches and cream, just talking about Valad and then like what? What? That's scary. Jag is in his live. What, in the comment section? Because you got to be in the comment section trying to figure stuff out because they not in the same place. And after everything that took place today, dang on well he ain't putting himself around her no more. He can't. He can't afford it. He cannot afford to put himself around her no more. She trying to figure out what's going on with her life. With her life, you hear me? She trying to figure out what's going on with her life. That man over there playing games. Dropped her off somewhere. You got all her money. You getting all her checks. What can she do? What can she do? That's why I say this world is scary right now, man. Get around the people that vibrate with you, that got good intentions for you. This world is scary right now, the way they playing on people. The way it's happening right now, it's scary. Do you hear me? Get around the people that's rocking with you. We got to start building, around those like-minded people. He wrenched her and she said respected. What? These people is playing on us, man. They made it, they just keep putting that low vibrational energy out there. And then like for real, it's starting to look like it's all for one big show. And that's scary right there, That's scary. So now that the halls of Amenti is opening up, so on and so forth, a lot more people will start getting back a lot more knowledge. A lot more people will start realizing who they really are as ascended masters, so on and so forth.
The Halls of Amenti is a time portal passage that holds the race blueprint field that would allow the fragmented angelic human souls to eventually re-evolve back into its original divine blueprint as a 12D crystal being. The Halls of Amenti are 6 time portal passages that are dimensional pathways to leave this 3D Earth system. In these halls, there are large bound holographic books with all of the hidden human history and where written historical records are kept. You can ask for guidance to the most pertinent information for you at this present time and read the book with your life mission and blueprint inside it. Not all of us will be granted access to the hall. You must have earned it with sincere inquiry of your soul or past lifetimes of access that have demonstrated your purity to your soul purpose. Lyran's Syrian contact expressed that those responsible to guard and protect humanity's genetic records and hidden histories were primarily ambassadors of the Syrian Administration Councils. The Syrian Lodge is a hall which oversaw the 6D networks which acted as the portal for star and indigo races to incarnate on the Earth plane through the Amendi halls. This Lyran Syrian administrative body created the Azurite Council for the sole purpose of a collective team to support the human embodiment of the Jesus Christ or Yeshua mission to repair these networks and secure the Amenti field. The Azurites were assigned.
Now, this is where you see the change that's taking place with the Borealis. When you're talking about the people who are back down here, these are people, ascended masters who come back down to share the vessels to prominent beings. The same way they say, like, the conjuring of a demon. Well, angels also do a form of conjuring, which will be ascended master, right? They put these titles on it, but really it's when you're touched by an angel or when the Lord is with you that you're able to bring down different variations of knowledge like this, right? That's actually what the Lord or the universe provides us with, right? The ability to articulate certain variations of text that advance our minds and our state of beings down here to the next level. And this is what is passed on to the youth, to the next breed, however you want to look at it. Just by us putting it in our brain, the next product of us comes out with a little bit more advancement of their DNA, so on and so forth, if that makes sense. So, like, we have to put this in our brain. We have to be able to envision this type of knowledge. We have to be able to envision this type of world where it's endless possibilities in order for the future generations to be born in a world of such magnitude. And it takes a collective. It takes a collective. So we have to put the knowledge back, into this world. And then from there, this is why Christ said, all things he can do, we can do, and more. This is why, different variations of knowledge. When you talk about the Essenes, the original group of the biblical text, you're talking about, planetary grid workers. You're talking about the Knights of the Templar, the real Knights of the Templar. You're talking about, Alexander putting back the rainbow, the rainbow round table, which is basically all of the light that actually comes in from the sun in order to embody the in crystal diamond sun plate or the double diamond sun plate, which is basically a 48 dimensional mind. I would say mind is actually dimensions, 48 dimensions of the mind. And that's where you got, that's where all of that, where they get into the 48 laws of power, all of that stuff come in at. That's why they base it off of stuff. But once you expand your mind to a certain point, you'll get to the 88. This is where Hitler was speaking on when he said the 88, but they made it seem like it was the 8th letter of the alphabet 2 times, which was Hail Hitler. But really, he was talking about the 88 expansion of the cosmos, or consciousness. And this is this is what they were talking about when they had like the symbol of like the swastika was actually a symbol of peace, because it was talking about all the directions that man can go in when you're talking about wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so on and so forth. So it was actually deeper than that.
The Order of Christ Templars. The real Templars were of the Order of Christ, derived from Gnostic Essene and Cathar lines, and they sacrificed themselves to protect the wisdom, knowledge, and frequency of Psi A on this earth for the ascension cycle, which is the window of time when the galactic alignment is made with the neutron window or galactic core for portal access, which was December 21st, 2012.
We only just begun.
The opening of the neutron window allows access in and out of this universal time matrix for the time period that the alignment is in place. Previous to this time, the window was closed, thus the portal access to leave this universe, as well as this solar system, was closed. When the galactic core alignment was made in 2012, the crystal star began connecting to this planet in this timeline, and this began the cycle of the crystal star hosting of this planet for potential ascension.
Ain't no me without you.
The Oraphim are the double diamond sun body of the Christos that are here on planet to direct the universal threefold founder flame frequencies to repair the architecture of the planetary grid, as well as communicate with the Aurora for the Aurora Crystal Matrix re-encryption of elemental body projects with the Master Christos Collective, a consortium of beings that are from the 7 higher heavens realms.
Now, when it goes into the 7 higher realms, it goes into Christos, different stories. And all of these fragments of stories are in your mind already. This is why some of y'all have a strong notion to Greek mythology. I know you like to think that you keep on watching that show, Rise of the Titans, or you might have a sense for the Clash of the Titans, all of that stuff. There's a reason why they can resell us that stuff, because these are things that are etched in our timelines, in our minds. So it's fragments of this stuff that's missing. We feel like we're a part of it. When you were a kid, you probably decided that you was Zeus kid or Poseidon kid, or if some of y'all being honest, y'all was Hades kid. You know what I mean? So you have a notion for this with inside yourself already. That the gods tampered with us in some type of way. You have a notion to say some people have to be in some type of demigod mindset down here, right? All of these different things. And then when you get into the biblical text, and the biblical text shows you this same thing. If you actually read the Bible, there was a multi-god system in the Bible, right? When it at one point it was saying God told them to thank the everlasting God. That means their God was telling them to thank a different God. They say, oh, who do we thank for getting us out of there? Thank the everlasting God. This is where trees come from. This is where the evergreen tree comes from, right? That's why when you do the whole Christmas ritual, the pagan thing, right? What do you get? You get an evergreen tree, right? That's the everlasting God. Why? Because it provided wood, it provided safety, it provided, a tree provided a lot of stuff back then. When people found out what cows can provide, people started praising cattle, right? Every time somebody found out a mystery or a wonder of this world, they deemed it to be a god. There was a multitude of gods back then. The Bible tells you this, right? They went by a multi-god system back then. The Bible has many names for many different gods. You have different gods. Think about it. What is Christmas? The Bible told you about Christmas. Jeremiah 10. It said, do not be fooled by their gods, for their gods cannot walk, so they have to be carried. Their gods have to be fastened, so they cannot teeter or totter. That's the same thing you do with a tree. You it's called an idol tree. You carry that tree into the house. You fasten that tree so it can't fall over, and then you praise that tree. You literally get on your knees in front of that tree and reach up under that tree to get gifts from under it, thus far bowing down to that tree. You don't see it? Oh, you don't see it. Oh, okay. People say they don't do pagan holidays, but then they out here doing pagan holidays. You know what I'm saying? They say they don't do it, but then they out here doing it. You know, it's better for your kids to know that the gift came from you. I want y'all to understand exactly what y'all doing when y'all do this. When we grow our kids up like this, don't you know you are your kids' number one betrayer? You are the first person that betrays your kid as a parent. You're the first person that betrays them. You know why? Because you got them believing in the tooth fairy, the Easter bunny, and all of these other things. And then you have to tell them that it's not real. And you lied to them for all these years. You betrayed them. You betrayed them. They trusted you. They believed you. And you the first one that fucked them over. Think about that. They setting us up for failure. You hear me? They setting us up for failure. We got to change our approach. We got to change our approach. And tell them the truth. This came from me. This came from hard work, me working hard because I love you. This came from me. Plus, you jipping yourself out of what you're supposed to actually get. You know what I'm saying? You jipping yourself out of what you supposed to actually get. You supposed to get the praises. You supposed to honor thy mother and father. You supposed to be the one getting the praises. Don't you know that we are our kids' first God? Like we are the first thing. Like it was a time where kids looked up to their parents. Nobody was bigger than their parent. Their parent did everything. You can't beat my dad, everything. You can't beat my mom, everything. We don't have that type of society no more. We don't have that. Parents ain't shit. Older people ain't shit. 30's the new 50. You looking at 20-year-olds looking at 30-year-olds talking about they old. No wonder why the damn unaliving rate keeps dropping. Y'all determining that 29 is old. Shit. If 29 old, that means you got to live your life in between 13 and 28. It's the way we thinking about this is all messed up. It's all messed up the way we thinking about this. Think about this. Really think about this. Who the fuck came up with age in the first place? I want to ask y'all that. You was born one time. You was born one time. You was not born 37 times. You did not. How old are you? You was born one time. You was one vessel old. You one vessel old right now. Unless you know your previous vessels or how many vessels you came in before, you right now you one vessel old. Y'all sitting there counting, adding yourself all these extra years, and you was only born one time. You wasn't born every year. You wasn't born again every year. Every year. No, nigga. You had one birthday at 1 year. That was 84. You wasn't born again in 2025 over and over and over and over. That's probably why we keep on repeating the same shit. Time does not even exist. That's how I know some of us are messed up. Time doesn't exist. So if time don't exist, how the fuck is you counting something that don't exist? Huh? If they changed up the calendars and took a whole month out of there, how is you still accurate on your time? Huh? If energy never dies and we are energy and all we do is recycle, then that means we've been here since the beginning and we lived infinite lives. Because time because energy never dies and we are energy. So that means we just kept transferring, right? That means we always been here, whether we want to know it or not. Some part of us always been here. Some energetic part of us always been here since the beginning. Now that thought might be just a fragment of your imagination, but that don't mean it's not there. Just because it's a fragment that you're going to take away it being there? No. The possibility is infinite. But we sit here with this, all I need is these 12 grades of education, and that's going to teach me everything I need to know about the moon, stars, and quasars and the universe. Hell no. Oh, shit. Why did I go to copy? I didn't mean to copy that.
All 12 genetic components of the 12 tribes hold one strand of DNA code for reassembling the crystal gene for the diamond sun body or silicate matrix that is key-coded to activate the 12 layers of the planetary Stargate system. This provides the means to contact our higher stations of identity as spiritual bodies, and to connect with the conscious living light and sound frequencies in the holographic matrix. The instruction sets to rebuild and reassemble the 12-strand DNA pattern are held in the genetic keys found in the cosmic crystalla blueprint, which makes up the 12-tree grid manifestation template. Through the individual and planetary spiritual ascension process that takes place during several root race evolution cycles, the integration and healing of all 12 levels of DNA coding through its genetic components potentially unite and merge to form the complete silicate matrix.
Now, the reason why I skip a lot of this stuff, because to some of y'all, this just sounds like blah, 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 right? You're not really understanding what it's saying. So I stop because I like to give a breakdown of exactly what it's saying so you can further understand exactly what it is that it's saying. Okay? Right. Now, this has to do everything with your DNA and the 12 strands of that DNA, and maybe, the activation of the 12 strands of that DNA. And it might have something to do with the solar flares and why they go off in the middle of the night while you're asleep, and why you are experiencing different levels of sleep apnea. You might be questioning the people that's around you, whether you're around the right people. I know a lot of frivolous things might be getting, old to you, as far as like gossiping or, hanging out with the group of gossipers. However you want to look at it, I know a lot of the old things that you used to do are just not what it used to be. And I know you're yearning or searching for something new in this world. It just seems like everyone has a yearn for something new, you know. So, this is because our currency within inside of our vessel is changing also. Like, you're not attracted to the same things anymore.
On February 22, 2022, our planetary system begins the cosmic clock Ryush initiation of the central seed of the higher heart, or the cosmic emerald sun awakening into the path of the Yucatharista. The universal time matrix begins to open the density locks leading directly into the higher inner God world realms, which begins to flood Cosmic Mother's aquamarine blue ray source of zero-point flames from within the diamond heart of the cosmic clock shield network. This planetary initiation is essentially the first God world creation, announcing to the universal inhabitants that the cycle for the return of the Emerald Order founders is commencing through the embodiment of the authentic Emerald Order identities that are the original Christos founders of this system. The Emerald Tree of Life merges into the cosmic clock Templar within the newly birthed Emerald Suns, sourced from the core heart spirals of aquamarine and emerald rays flowing from the first God world creation. The magnitude of this cosmic Emerald Order ascension event to awaken the planetary Eucatharista is hard for our minds to fathom. Cosmic Amorie Shield.
So this is part of why, like, paying attention to some of this stuff is important. Like, the cosmic clock is changing, right? These different notions of things is changing, right? There's a lot of people that study colorology, numerology. They would like to understand this world a little bit better because the frequencies that's coming into this world is changing, right? They're telling you about these changes that's taking place. They're telling you about these different energies. They might not understand that they're still trying to get a grip on everything that is, was, and always will be, this great transformation, this great awakening, this change that is taking place. You know, we supposed to actually be happy in this time with everything that's taking place. It's supposed to be a glorious, you know, supposed to be glorious. It's supposed to be, you know, but as you can see, y'all don't look too happy. Not everybody looking too happy right now. Y'all supposed to be smiling more. It's supposed to be a joyous time. Negative can't exist in this atmosphere. That's why so many negative things is happening to these people out there. And don't you feel sorry for them, okay? When they was Ja Rule living it up, they didn't feel sorry for you. When Natanya Rubin got her 1.8 million, you think she was worried about you? No, she wasn't worried about you when she got her 1.8. She didn't care about you when she got her 1.8. Now she back to grifting and trying to trick people with that 501c. Now all of a sudden she care about the people again. Yeah, that's usually what happens when they start needing your money some more. They start caring about you. Look at the not ass sitting there talking about all these trips he making and all these trips he taking and all types of shit like that. And then as soon as he needs y'all money again, he start crying. Start talking about protecting the black women. He gotta protect the black women. You just wish like 50 of them unalive. How the fuck is you talking about protecting? You know what? I'm sorry. I'm about to go off on the rant again.
You know, lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of demons. A lot of shit we do gonna have consequences, but we gotta be ready for them. Emergency, I just got out of surgery. I'm having problems with my heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me.
Y'all drop some. Hit the cash app one time. Hit the PayPal one time.
I'm sipping this hand and eat this pain, but it ain't helping. My little nigga going against the grain and it's stressing me. I pray to God that God
I'm gonna go play the game for a little bit.
I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the gang. He
Paid the price.
I was young in the rest
Y'all
of the
know
money.
we
My
in the
hunger for
Discord.
paper saved my life.
Let me put the Discord up for y'all.
If you want that lick shit, we can get rich quick. We can get paid tonight. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money. Everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down, down, down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gonna go out there? Shit. Gotta think about
join the Discord.
187.
Y'all know we kick it in the Discord.
You killed a nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, dog. Real talk. Hey. Fight my demons, fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons, fight my demons, fighting mine. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons. Whoa, I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons, I'm on the ropes. They came with a beam up under my coat. Get hit in the spleen if you want to smoke. That money be green, so niggas don't go. I'm looking so clean, I used to be broke. Remember they laughed at me and they choked. Gave them the ball and nigga they choked. Tables turn, that nigga you roll. My little nigga don't follow no code. Follow no code, no code. My nigga follow me like the pole. I stand on my word and stand by the consequence. They say I'm heartless, thanks for the compliment. I seen your dead homie, y'all a company.
Hey, y'all better stay out of that negative energy.
I gotta kill that shit, lethally militant. I can get ignorant, we not considerate. Niggas do silly shit, we get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent, don't give a fuck about a bystander. I can pull up in the Highlander. Don't take no slander, don't take no slander. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down, down, down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gon' go up? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by eye. You killed a nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, dog.
That question right there is actually deeper than what people give credit for, because it's his dark material. The coal is actually a fluid that moves up and down the spine. This is where the sack of coal comes from. If you look up the story of Hercules, Hercules said that he had to fight through like the gastro bypass or something like that. So this is like where your gas is at. So like you notice like when you eat a lot of fruit and stuff, that fruit gives you a lot of gas, right? That gas is turning into, fluids, liquids turn into gases that go up to your brain, that changes chemicals in your brain, thus far creating a firmament, right? So the fruit fermentates in your stomach, and then the gas from that fruit creates a firmer mint. See, the spell is actually in the word, so it's a play in the word, right? Firmer mint. That means you have a firmer mental. Government. That means it's governing your mental. Testament, which is meaning the testicles and the mental. So when you see testament, Old Testament, New Testament, it is talking about the old body and mind and the new body and mind, because testa is your testicles and ment is your mind.
Fight my demons, fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fight my demons. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons. Living life in cases, the idea that my evil thoughts go unpunished.
Hey, keep the knowledge going, keep the knowledge flowing. Hey, we gonna keep on laughing at them. That don't mean we not gonna drop some jewels here and there. You gonna come over here, we gonna laugh a little bit, we gonna smile a lot, we gonna laugh at them, we gonna drop jewels, right? Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. If you're not thinking highly of yourself, no one else is going to think highly of you. If nobody told you that they love you today, let me be the first but not the last to tell you that I love you, right? Y'all know we going to be over at the Discord. That's what we do. I'm probably going to wind down, play a game for a little bit while I kick it with everybody in the Discord, right? But that's what we do. We come, we bring the positive, we keep you updated, we laugh about some stuff, and that's how you build a good collective. We ain't here trying to find differences with one another. We're not trying to find separation. We finding that common ground, and we comfortable with that. Okay. I'm not trying to see what differences we have. I ain't trying to find something about you that irritates me. I'm just good at being good at what we know about each other. I'm good. What you don't tell me, I don't care about. What you do tell me, I'm getting along with just fine. That's it. Just find common ground. That's it. There's no me without you, you know. That's it. I'm a reflection of you. We're reflections of each other. No matter what skin color you in, you're just another reflection of me, right? Now, of course, you come with passions, you come with different things, and everybody like a little butt rub every now and again. But other than that, that's the flesh and blood stuff. I want to connect to your mind. Once we connect in the mental and the spirit, they can't do nothing to us. You get what I'm saying? Once we're connected in the mind and the spirit, they can't do nothing. And they know that already. They know how this collective stuff works. They hate for this type of collective to be built. That's why they coming against it so tough. You see all these people trying to come against this collective, and we ain't even hit big numbers yet, and they already ain't liking the Atlas family. You know what I mean? The Atlas family is here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. So get with us or get rolled over. We changing up the way y'all play. We changing up the way y'all do everything. You think we don't see y'all stealing pieces of us? We see y'all stealing pieces of us. We watching y'all steal pieces of us. We see y'all. Maggie talking about something. She a truth seeker. She don't care. We see y'all stealing pieces of us. We watching y'all. But we knew it from the beginning. We said, we'll rub off on y'all before y'all rub off on us. And look at us. Our positive is rubbing off on y'all, and y'all negative still stink. Hey, love is love. Namaste. I say salutation. Shalom. See y'all in the Discord.